All right, Shalom. First and foremost, want to give all praises to Yahweh, Ba'ashem, Yahushai, Ba'ashem, Rakakwadash, double honors to the elders and apostles of Great Millstone, and peace and blessings to the elect of Israel. Now, as you see the title of this article, it says Russia breaks diplomatic ties with NATO. It says Moscow's decision to end its diplomatic mission to the alliance will end a long post-Cold War experiment in building trust between militaries. And this article came out October 18th, 2021. So last week or so, woke up maybe 2 weeks ago. And today's date being October 31st, 2021. And ultimately what's going on is, behind the scenes, is the Lord is mustering the hosts to the battle, all right, and going into this Third World War, all right, which is coming quickly, which I'll grab that really quick, come back to this. The Lord is gathering the nations that are ultimately going to fight against so-called America, all right, which is going to be going into the beast shall hate the horde. Okay, these nations that are allied with so-called America, being Babylon the Great, ultimately turn against her, okay, and shoot missiles at her and burn her with fire, going to these thermonuclear missiles, all right, because this is the prophecy, all right. So here's Revelation 11, verse 14. It says, the second war was past, right, the Second World War, and behold, the third war cometh quickly, all right, and the third war that's coming is going to be fought by thermonuclear missiles, all right. Grab that real quick. It's Isaiah chapter 9, verse 5. It says, for every battle of the warrior is with confused noise and garments rolled in blood. So ancient warfare is how it was fought, okay. You know, watch any medieval movie, you know, whatever, you know, with ancient warfare, you know, you had men with shields, you know, swords, helmets, all right, you know, you name it, going to ancient warfare, all right, back then, okay, garments rolled in blood, because it was real personal, okay, up close and personal, 1v1, you know, wherever, 1v3, you know, combat, okay. But it says, but this shall be with burning and fuel of fire. So this war is going to be fought with thermonuclear missiles, all right, you know, all type of missiles, Scud missiles, heat-seeking missiles, you know, but really digs the defying blow, all right, for this kingdom, okay. You know, this whole setup is going to be when those thermonuclear missiles start flying, okay, especially over here in so-called America, which is going to be that lake of fire, okay, completely obliterated, okay, overkill, all right, because why? Because this is the vengeance of Yahweh Shai, all right, which again, he prophesied, you know, through his servants and prophets, that would happen here in these last days before the Lord returns, set up his kingdom and on the earth, okay, as it is in heaven, so it shall be done on the earth, in the name of Yahweh Shai. All right, 144,000, that government, that ruling body, okay, the house of David being raised up, okay, and our happily ever after, going into the promise to you Israelites, you so-called Negros, Latinos, Native Americans, all right. These are nations going to turn and fight against the Lord, all right. You know, 2 Corinthians 13 chapter tells you that, okay, and they're going to be completely annihilated, okay, because they're going to be fighting amongst each other. You know, remember, there's going to be seditions, all right, uproars of the people, earthquakes, you know, diverse places, pestilence, plagues, all right, sword, famine, okay, you know, civil wars, all right, you know, people are going to be chipped up, okay, you know, so this place is going to be through, ready for the taking, okay, and the Lord's going to take those many crowns, right, you know, being these rulers, and again, set up his kingdom on earth, okay, in the name of Yahweh Shai, right, but here, well, there's a spirit right here, because verse 6 tells you that, okay, going into that government, you know, sitting upon his shoulders, right, okay, the increase of the government, you know, read on to the point, you know, but, you know, staying here with this article, it says, Russia plans to cease its diplomatic engagement with the Northern Atlantic Treaty Organization. The Russian foreign minister said on Monday, in the latest sign of unraveling relations between Moscow and the West, okay? So that Cold War spirit is getting raised up again, okay? You know, the bear, okay? Going to the book of Revelation, it's talking about, you know, the so-called Russians, okay? Those Russian Edomites getting raised up to fight against so-called America, okay? You got China, you got Iran, right? And this is going to get longer and longer of the nations that are going to fight against so-called America. This World War III is not going to be like, you know, World War I, World War II. You had the Allied, the Axis powers, and, you know, you had, you know, the left hand, you know, the left side, the right side, you know, going to the story that we're told, you know, in history, you know, again, going into who's the good guy, who's the bad guy, you know. But, you know, going to this world war, it's going to be literally everybody against so-called America, okay? So through those significant of a diplomatic level, the announcement, those significant on a diplomatic level, the announcement was not apparently accompanied by any military moves by Russia, at least not yet, threatening European security. And Moscow still maintained diplomatic relations with the individual governments in the alliance, okay? And going to, the decision will end a post-Cold War experiment, okay? Because why? Because the Lord doesn't want peace, okay? He's bringing war, because the Lord is a man of war, all right? And he's going to raise up, which I just had it earlier. It's Isaiah 13, verse 17 says, "Behold, I will stir up the Medes against them, which shall not regard silver, and as for gold, they shall not delight in it." So, you know, when you trade off silver and gold, that's a diplomatic move. You know, hey, I'll give you some silver, you know, for peace. You know, you might bring a marriage treaty. You have one going to the ancient world. You have one of your daughters, you marry her off, all right, to the other nation. Okay, that would be a peace treaty. All right, but there's not going to be no diplomatic reasoning between so-called America and, you know, going to Russia. And these other nations are going to fight against so-called America. I could read about that in Obadiah, right? You know, those that are in that alliance, okay, the EU and the NATO, they're going to turn against so-called America, okay? Well, I keep quoting it. All right, but, you know, going into, let me read the next verse. It says, "Their bows also shall dash the young men to pieces, and they shall have no pity on the fruit of the womb. Their eyes shall not spare the children," right? In Babylon, the glory of kingdoms, the beauty of the Chaldeans' excellency, going into, pretty much like the poster child for Esau, right? That great city is Babylon the Great, okay? It says in Babylon, being so-called America, says in Babylon, the glory of kingdoms, right? The glory of kingdoms is America, the American dream. Everybody wants to come over here and make themselves somebody here in this world, okay? You know, again, what they sell, trees paved in gold, equal opportunity, okay? Anybody can make it, okay? The American scheme, okay? It's over with, all right? Isaiah 13, the great cities and cities, you know, going into, again, you know, man, this kid's kingdom, okay? It's over, all right? No one wants to be here no more. Even you so-called Americans, you want to leave, okay? There's a huge majority, or I won't say huge majority, but there's a huge number of people in this country that want to leave, okay? And they're doing it, okay? But now with the pandemic and lockdown thing, now you got to get juiced up, okay? And eventually now you're going to have to get chipped up, okay? But Isaiah 13, verse 19, it says, "In Babylon, the glory of kingdoms, the beauty of the Chaldeans' excellency shall be as when the Most High overthrew Sodom and Gomorrah," right? "It shall never be inhabited, neither shall it be dwelt in from generation to generation. Neither shall an Arabian pitch tent there, neither shall the shepherds make their fold there," right? "The wild beasts of the desert shall lie there, and the houses shall be full of doubtful creatures, and owls shall dwell there, and satyrs shall dance there," right? So this is going to what the after effect, man, of this place, when this place is destroyed. Okay, this is really when the fire dies down, okay, because this fire is going to be burning for a long, long time, okay, going into the damage of these thermonuclear missiles, okay? It's going to be on fire, okay? This you just read, it's going to be as when the Most High overthrew Sodom and Gomorrah, okay? A very violent destruction, okay? And that's why it's going to the second death, man. The second death is the so-called, the second death is these thermonuclear missiles, okay? And the lake of fire is going to be so-called America, all right? It says, "And the wild beasts of the islands shall cry, and the desolate houses and dragons in their pleasant places, and her time is near to come, and the day shall not be prolonged." So there's a set time. The Lord's going to be like, enough is enough, and he's going to put that evil thought, you know, the nations ultimately again to make war with this woman, okay, with this whore, okay, you know. But, you know, again, going to these wild animals, you know, look up some animals that can survive nuclear missiles, okay, you know, in nuclear fallout. Of course, you got the cockroaches, you know, you have scorpions, okay, you know, just do simple Google search. That's all going to be left here in so-called America, right, once the fire dies down, okay, eventually, okay, who knows how long that's going to be. But I was quoting Revelation 17, if I'm not mistaken, how they're going to burn this place with fire. Revelation 17, verse 15, it says, "And he saith unto me, the waters which thou sawest, where the whore sitteth, are peoples and multitudes and nations and tongues, right? Because this place is known as the Great Melting Pot. Okay, people from all over the world, other nations come over here and dwell here, okay, to make themselves, or give themselves a better life opportunity, so to say, okay? So all again, that American scheme, all right? But that marvel, okay, that, this great city, okay, everybody wants to come to, okay, as a beacon of light, but it's ultimately a beacon of death, okay? Verse 16, says, and the ten whores which thou sawest upon the beast, these shall hate the whore, right? So going into, again, the 10 horns going into the EU, okay? All right. It says, and these shall hate the whore and shall make her desolate and naked, right? And shall eat her flesh and burn her with fire. So those that are confederate with this place as it stands at this very moment are going to turn against her, okay? Going into, the 10 horns, okay? You got, matter of fact, I'll just get it. So we get a picture here, So here's the beast with the 7 heads of the 10 horns. So here's the 10 horns right here. You got Belgium, Denmark, France, Italy, Luxembourg, Netherlands, Greece, all right, Spain and Portugal being one, England and Ireland being one, and you got West Germany, all right? But now, there's more, okay? But that's why you go into the original, it says right here, the 10 horns represented the common market or the European Economic Community, okay, established in 1958, today the EEC is known as the EU, the European Union, okay? Then you got here NATO, all right? These nations are going to ultimately turn against so-called America, okay? Because why? It says verse 17, it says, for the Most High put in their hearts to fulfill his will and to agree and to give their kingdom unto the beast, until the words of the Most High shall be fulfilled, right? So it's all about the time of the Lord, okay? That's what you say, Habakkuk 2nd chapter. The vision is yet for that appointed time, okay? It says, and the woman which thou sawest is that great city which reigneth over the kings of the earth, and that's talking about so-called America, okay? So the place is going to be burned with fire, all right? And that's what's coming, okay? Russia, so-called Russia, being a guard onto these other nations, those that are weak saying I'm strong, because why? They have nuclear missiles now, okay? They're not scared to deal with this whore no more, okay? As, going into that 4th beast, which was wounded unto death and, was raised back up, okay? All again, according to prophecy, all right, coming up in the time of Renaissance, all right, that's going into, the Roman Empire, all right, being born again, okay? But this time when it falls, it's going to be mortal, okay? A mortal wound, which is going to be to death, okay? No more coming back into power, okay? Because what the Romans were known for is their great military, all right? Going into those iron legs, okay? Stomping the residue of people, okay? That's what this kingdom has done, just like the Romans, okay? But just like the Romans fell, so America's getting ready to fall, okay? Matter of fact, I know I quoted Obadiah. So here's Jeremiah 51, verse 7. It says, Babylon had been a golden cup in the Lord Yahweh's hand that made all the earth drunken, right? So these philosophies, okay? This poison, okay, that this devil has given everybody to drink, okay? As scripture say in the book of Genesis, the serpent was more subtle than any beast of the field that the Lord hath created, okay? So this devil passed around this cup, right? Democracy and homosexuality and, these, doctrines of devils. I pass it on to you because, as scripture say, broad is the way and wide is the gate to lead to destruction. Okay, there's many ways to be destroyed. Okay, all these false idols, false ways of life. Okay, ultimately set you up to what? To be destroyed. Okay, these nations thought dealing with America would make their life situation better, but it's made it worse. Okay, look at the before and after effect of when so-called America comes in and tries to set up that nation or help them out. Actually makes that situation worse. Okay, look at Iraq. Okay, and the list goes on for examples. But Jeremiah 51, verse 7 says, Babylon had been a golden cup in the Lord Yahweh's hand. They made all the earth drunken, right? And not literally drunken, but drunken off what? The wine of her fornication, these philosophies. Okay, it says, the nations have drunken of her wine, therefore the nations are mad, right? So here going to that cup, okay? That's the woman, okay, that passed that cup to everybody, all right, to have them drink, all right? And here goes some of the examples of philosophies. You have democracy, these false religions, idolatry, homosexuality, lies, adultery, covetousness, murder, okay? These are all things the devil promotes, okay? And you see Jake, still to this day, man, all into that. Okay, that's why Yahushua said, you have your father the devil. It says, a nation have drunken of her wine, therefore nations are mad. Okay, they're mad. Okay, everything's out of order, everything's in chaos. Okay, because why? Because so-called white man sold them a bad deal. Okay, spiked their drink. All right, but here, verse 8, but Babylon is suddenly fallen and destroyed. How for her take balm from her pain? If so, she may be healed. We would have healed Babylon, but she is not healed. Forsake her and let us go, everyone to his own country. For her judgment reaches unto heaven and is lifted up even to the sky. So her Lord's getting ready to what? Well, here it says, verse 11. It says, make bright the arrows, which I'll just read 10. Yahweh Bashem Shai have brought forth our righteousness, right? Giving us his truth. Okay, woken us back up. Like it says in the book of Isaiah, arise and shine, our light is come. And that light being this word, okay, being Yahweh Bashem Shai. It says, come and let us declare in Zion the work of Yahweh Bashem Shai, our power. So that's why you have this Lord servants and prophets out there, what? Declaring, okay, and declaring the works of Yahweh Bashem Shai is all his work, okay? Going into these prophecies, okay? No other book, all right, warns you of these things that are getting ready to come to pass, okay? All right. Verse 11 says, make bright the arrows, gather the shields. The Lord Yahweh Bashem Shai have raised up the spirit of the kings of the Medes for his devices against Babylon to destroy it. It's that device of these thermical missiles, okay? Because it is the vengeance of Yahweh Bashem Shai, the vengeance of his temple, okay? And the temple, the third temple being his men, okay? The lively stones, okay? The tabernacle of the Most High is with men, all right? And, going to that temple, that third temple, that's why the devil wants to defile it, okay? By putting that chip in you, okay? But the elect are not going to bow their knee, they're not going to be deceived, right? Because without why? Because according to the Lord's promise, he's going to keep a remnant, all right, according to his promise, okay? And that remnant is going to what? Be the first fruits of the kingdom to come, okay? The first fruits of these so-called Negros, Latinos, and their Americans with the Israelites, all right? But that's pretty much the point, set up the standard, make the watch strong, because why? Because the Lord is getting ready to what? Destroy this place, okay? Simple as that, all right? So that's pretty much it, man. That's why the Lord told us to come out of my people, okay? Which, is going to tell us getting beamed up, those will be the elect, all right? Because this is not our rest, okay? This kingdom that's being set up here is to be destroyed, okay? Just like a sandcastle, build up, ooh, eyes, cool to look at, and it's going to be knocked down, okay? And it's going to be knocked down by these missiles. And the Lord, real time is raising up these other nations to fight against so-called America, okay? That thought to what? Overthrow this place, okay? And at the same time, the Lord, in the midst of all this, is raising up, again, the house of David, which, again, that's why Psalm 2nd chapter, this is why do the heathen rage, okay? It's already set up who's going to win, who's going to overcome, okay? And who the kingdom is ultimately for, okay? And it's for you Israelites. So-called Negros, Latinos, and American 2/3. We'll see y'all on the other side, okay? So with that, those words be edifying. As always, I want to give all praise to Bashem Shai, Bashem Kodash, the bones, the elders, and Apostle Great Millstone. Peace and blessings to the elect of Israel. Shalom.